I am Bridget Williams, a part-time student like most of you, and I have been following a very important global and social issue of driving while using a cell phone. Most of you have been affected in some way or another by someone who's been driving and using a cell phone at the same time. Am I right?
Yes.
Just the other day, I'm sitting in my garage watching my children as they play. My son shoots across the driveway as his friend follows him to his house. Just not 2 seconds later, a car comes and smashes the brakes. You can hear a screech and howl. As I looked at the driver, he had a cell phone in his hand, up to his ear. Just that easy, an accident could have been. It could have been a terrible accident because he wasn't paying attention because he was on the phone. Had he not been using a phone and maybe using a handheld device, then maybe that screeching halt could have been avoided. Two things went through my mind at the time. He could have hit the children and he wasn't distracted. And if he wasn't distracted by the phone conversation. Cell phone use while driving is not only the cause of a million deaths globally, but is affecting us right here in our own communities. I think that we as citizens must do our part to reduce the dangers of cell phone use in our communities in order to aid these global phenomena. My attempt in this speech is to discourage you from using cell phones while driving and build awareness in our environment of this very alarming and dangerous issue. The main points that I will cover are: take personal responsibility, get the community involved, educate those around you, including children, of the dangers. The first main point: are you guilty of trying to answer the phone while driving? We always think, I'll just make this one call, or I'll just make this one text, and then another, and then another. We as civil citizens must take responsibility and do our part to reduce the dangers of cell phone use in our communities, not by not using them while driving ourselves. Be a role model to the community. The main problem is that cell phone use while driving is a dangerous global issue. But we must take responsibility locally in our communities to raise the awareness of the dangers. Too often, I notice not only while driving around, but right here in my community, people stop at the stoplight. And when you drive up to them, either they're texting or on the phone and didn't notice that the light already turned green. Huh. Also, just driving down the road, I see a car swerving all up on the curb, and when you get up on the car, they're talking on the cell phone, not knowing that they're swerving across the road. Researchers at the University of Utah have found that drivers using cell phones, even hands-free devices, experience a decrease in the ability to process peripheral vision, creating a potentially lethal tunnel vision. This inattention blindness slows reaction time by 20% and resulted in some of the 20 test subjects missing half the red lights they encountered in simulated driving. We found that when people are on the phone, they found that when people are on the phone, the amount of information they are taking in is significantly reduced, reported one of the professors, David Strayer. People were missing things like cars, swerving in front of sudden lane changes. We had at least three rear end collisions. The Utah study is only the latest investigation into the effects of driving and cell phone use. The second main point: get the community involved. Advocates, neighbors, and local law enforcement should all be involved. We should go to our community advocates and maybe call a meeting of, you'll have to stop.